Good morning, you all. It's so good to see you today. I want to tell you a story of a man who one night had a dream. And in the dream, an angel came to the man. And he took the man and showed him to a door. And they stood outside the door and they could smell this fragrance of food, just wonderful smells of wonderful feasting going on inside the room. It smelled so good. They opened the door and they went in there, but all the people seated around this table where there was indeed a huge feast were hungry people, emaciated people, just skin and bones, all of them starving. How could they be starving when there was so much food to eat? The reason why the angel showed the man was because they all had spoons like this, and they couldn't get the spoons in their mouths. They tried sticking them in their eyes, in their ears, but they couldn't feed themselves with spoons like this. Then the angel took the man out of that room to another door. And outside this door, they had the same wonderful smells of a feast, of all this great food inside. They opened the door, and around this table, there was on the table lots of wonderful food, but all the people were eating, and they were happy, and they were well-fed, and nobody was skin and bones, and nobody was going hungry. But they all had the same spoon. What was different? What do you think was different about that room? What do you think? I knew somebody was going to say. Yeah, you know what? That's pretty smart of you. Yeah, they could have done that. That's not in the story about They had to hold their spoon like this, but in this room, the people had learned how to feed each other. And they could reach across the table, and they could feed each other. Here's a picture of these two rooms. Here's the first room. See these guys? They're just all starving, even with all the food. They just can't figure out how to make it work. But in this room, everyone's happy, and they're getting fed. You see that? Because they learned how to use the spoon to serve one another. Now, with these two rooms, would you call heaven? The second room, me too. And I think that's what Jesus tells us the kingdom of heaven is like, and that we have that experience of heaven on earth whenever we also learn how to serve one another. In fact, Jesus, one of the most famous things he ever said was, "I came not to be served, but to serve." And that's what he calls his followers to do as well. And when we do, if we were to do this, if all of us were to follow his example, do you know that no one in our world would ever go hungry again? I have this picture for you on a card that you can take with you to be reminded. It has the first room on one side and the second room on the other side, and I'm going to share that with you now. And I want to tell you that I'm so proud of you all for your project with the manna bags that we're going to do on Thanksgiving Sunday, and proud of all of you the way that you bring food for our little pantry down the street so regularly. That's one way we have of serving one another. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Gracious God, you have set an example for us that we are forever learning how to follow. May in the week ahead, we, in one way or another, find a way to serve our neighbors in need. Amen.